okay, Foconi for sure. Let's put bets on him. But I don't know. We watched Marini fence. We watched Marini fence against American Alexander Macialis, and he took Macialis apart.
And he beat Le Pachou of France before that. And here's going to be the bout here. Marini has incredibly long distance, long legs, long arms, and it's going to be up to Foconi to try to get inside that distance.
He has very awkward tempo, and it's just hard to predict. So the question is how often has he fenced him, and can Foconi predict that tempo?
Marini's on a roll today. Let's see if he can continue. And Foconi sort of struggled early in the day. He just made it out of the earlier bouts. 1 second in, riposte by Marini to take the lead 1-0.
You see how tall and long he is. It's.
But look how close they are. Look how close they are. That's to Foconi's advantage right now. They're very close.
The Italians tend to like defense at very close distance, apparently even the really tall ones. I think that's part of the problem, and I've seen this also with Alexander Macialis. You can't really stop Marini. You try to stand there and stop, and there's a nice simple action from Foconi, I think, finding the tempo.
Well, Marini stepped forward with his legs, but his arm wasn't moving. Watch, he's moving forward with his legs, and then Foconi just nailed him.
How many times did we see that with Macialis?
Oh, we saw the same action.
Where there's a parry post miss, and Marini is able to hit with the remise.
And referee said counter riposte, but I agree with you. I think it was a remise.
Yeah.
Or the second action.
Foconi ties it up.
Watch on the right, Foconi. Oh.
Very
caught
nice timing.
Caught Marini napping on that one. Just lulled him to sleep. So both of Foconi's touches have been just like that. As Marini advanced, Foconi has found an opening, made a straight lunge. And the reason this is happening is because Marini, with the huge distance advantage, is playing into Foconi's distance way too close.
At this point, he still gives the touch, right? You can't just let go of your weapon. So 3-2.
Great infighting. Remember, we talked earlier about the infighting. That was our first great infighting touch of the evening.
Foconi's a top-level fencer. I mean, when his point is always on, you're going to hardly see any off targets here. Except for that one. I'll give him that one. How about that?
You know, it's really amazing how close Marini is fencing Foconi in this bout. It's really not to his advantage, to Foconi's advantage. He is fencing at straight lunge distance, whereas against Macialis, who are both tall fencers, he had a much longer distance than Marini.
And there you can see it. So Marini's trying to make a parry. Riposte doesn't have enough room, misses, and Foconi is able to hit.
And the reason he didn't have enough room is because he has long limbs, and once Foconi stepped in, it's hard for him to get the blade going.
Foconi is taking his time to set up the action.
Foconi did hit on that the previous time with the infighting. Just missed on that one.
Yep, behind the head.
Yeah.
I don't think my arm works like that.
Toujours l'attaque, says the referee. It's still the attack from the left. Foconi's not challenging it. Watch on the left. Here he comes. That's the attack from the left. And the reason it's the attack from the left is because his point is moving towards the valid target, although he hit on the arm there, as you can see, which is off target.
These are some great matches to watch, especially if you're a first-time watcher of fencing. And I would just urge, watch one fencer at a time. Choose one and watch them. How are they hitting? Where are they hitting?
This time, Marini used his distance. He caused Foconi's attack to fall short, and then Marini scored in the counterattack.
And there it is again, the same action, tying it up at 4-4. Foconi's asking, hey, I don't think my tip works. Can you test it? So
here comes on the right. The attack is short. It misses. And And Marini has tied the score by using that long distance on the last 2 touches.
Yeah. It's important that the fencers ask the referee to test the weapon that they don't, because if it doesn't work, then they can annul the touch.
Correct.
I do know some rules, Jeff.
Well, you should, Iris. You're an Olympic fencer.
I think I was just more focused on hitting the target.
Marini hit Foconi with a taste of his own medicine there because he caused Foconi's riposte to miss, and Marini hit on the remise, the second action. No, and there he hit on the chest, and you can see Foconi went for the back and glanced off the back, did not put the light on.
Do you think that the distance has changed, as you said, to give him a little bit more space? Is that how he's making a run of touches?
I think he's opened it up a little bit, has Marini. Marini's attack, straight attack off target. Foconi made the attack, Marini made the parry or the block, and made the riposte off target.
You do see Foconi taking his time to try to make the distance close, but there he's getting caught a little bit flat-footed.
That's the first time he really did get caught flat-footed. He did the same thing to Marini twice early in the bout. Watch
There
Marini in the left. He sees an opening.
Just
Makes a
kinda,
straight lunge, yeah.
he's too close.
Foconi goes, oh my, I'm not doing that again.
That was a nice riposte, finding the target.
Marini's up 6-4. He seems to have, his footwork is a little quicker now. He seems to be feeling it.
Oh, that was an unbelievable touch.
And the reason he got that touch is because he used his super long distance. He was able to hit it while Foconi was short.
That's hard because Marini was good at putting it out there. It's the first time he's done that, and so Foconi's used to being a little bit closer for that riposte. And now he's a little bit tentative to make the riposte, and kind of, you know, in essence, Marini kind of took away the riposte from Foconi.
Because he retreated out of the distance, as opposed to stepping in. Straight attack by Marini. So the last couple actions, we've seen a straight attack by Marini. You've seen the counter attack retreating at a distance. And just like that,
Those arms fast. It comes out very quickly.
Yes,
Slow
watch on the
feet.
left. Right there.
Using that long arm.
And he's doubled it up at 8-4.
Foconi now decides, forget it, I've missed so many times, I'm not really sure, let's try a
change.
different foil.
Yeah.
And it also helps, right? We talked about it being a tactic to relax a little bit. Let me get my mind straight here.
And let me break my opponent's momentum a little bit, too. We've seen it earlier today.
I've seen Foconi come back from bigger deficits. I mean, he's just a worker on the piece. So, I mean, we've got 41 seconds left in the period. There's still a lot of time left to close the gap.
Right now, Marini is in the zone, and he's using his distance to his advantage, and Foconi's having a difficult time putting the green light on.
I think sometimes when a young fencer breaks onto the scene and they fence a little bit differently, they're a little awkward, they haven't been figured out yet, and so that's kind of what you're seeing here with Marini. I mean, none of the top-level fencers have really seen him that often, probably fenced him that often, and can't really deal with his tempo and his fast, really long arm, just like that.
Wow, just toying with Foconi on that touch was Marini. Just a straight attack. Watch on the left. Here it comes, and there it goes, right to the shoulder.
It's hard because it's a little bit deceptive, right? You feel like you've got enough distance, and then the 7-foot-long arm comes out to hit you.
Earlier in the bout, I thought Marini was way too close, but right now he's just in the right distance.
Foconi's trying to go a different tactic. All right, now I need to rush.
You hear the referee say attack or fair. Foconi made the attack by beating the blade, which is what Foconi has to do to get in the distance of the longer Marini.
That was a nice attack, and that's exactly what you're talking about, that tackle fair. Take the blade, take the blade, take the blade to get into distance and finish the attack.
And there, it could have been para riposte by Marini. He thinks so. He's not asking for the replay.
This is the fun part about fencing, this sort of tactical thought process. So Foconi's like, oh, Marini attacked from the left. He has to change it up, and so he's decided, I got to rush a little bit more forward to change it up.
And of course, when you rush, you certainly open yourself up. A tackle fair, it's a nice one by Foconi. Beat attack, the shorter fencer has to take the blade to get into the longer fencer's distance. Watch on the right, beat, attack, a beauty.
He's missed a couple times to the back. Halt was called.
Referee calls
too
halt.
soon.
It's too late. Once the referee calls halt, the rules of fencing say no new action can begin after the halt. Now, sometimes the referee calls the halt too early, but you can't then compound the problem by allowing the action that began after you called the early halt, which is probably what happened here.
Here he's missed. He's done this a couple times, missing the back.
Right.
It doesn't seem to be the riposte target he wants.
And there was no body contact. The referee could have let it go. Foconi had an argument, but the referee called halt. And once the toothpaste is out of the tube, you can't put it back in.
I wouldn't call it an argument. See, that is incredible. I mean, I don't think, as a fencer, I don't know how to deal with something like that. Very slow, loping, and then this just very quick arm that's just so long you can't anticipate it.
I would just try to get in close if I can in front of Foconi, which is what Marini did.
What he just did now. I mean, Foconi just tried to cut him off with the pass, but Marini's still on top of it. Widening the gap more, 13-6, 2 away from the finals here at the Anaheim Grand Prix.
Still the attack from the right, says the referee. It was blade contact, but he's saying that it's Foconi's blade.
Slowly closing the gap. 7 seconds left in this round. Really nice attack.
So if I'm Marini, I retreat as fast as I can and get to the break. No more touches here for him.
1 more second left.
Nice attack from the right by Foconi. Watch, here it comes. Right to the chest.
So that's the end of the first round. I mean, everything on paper says that Foconi should really be walking away with this match, but what we're seeing here is a 5-point deficit going into the second round. Jeff, what can Foconi do if you're his coach? What can he do in the second round to change the tides?
It's going to be based on his footwork. He's going to have to work extra hard to get in, to get out, to get into the distance. And certainly you can't allow Marini to hit you in any more straight attacks. Go down fighting with second intention. Push Marini down to his side of the piece.
I haven't seen a lot of second intention on that attack or being able to pick up the blade. Marini's attack, I'm not sure I've seen much like that. You know, the slow legs and then this super quick long arm. That's a tough thing to deal with, and Foconi's been hit over and over on it. We've seen Macialis get hit over and over on it and not be able to deal with it. I saw Macialis earlier in the corner with his teammates trying to figure out what happened. Marini's definitely on.
It's a huge advantage in many sports when you have that length and that arm. Try to imagine these two are boxers and he had the wingspan of Marini. It's just very hard to get inside his distance.
Definitely fencing is a combat sport, so there's a lot of comparison that you can draw between boxing and fencing with the changing of tactics.
So Foconi has been successful somewhat in infighting, so maybe he has to just try to get inside Marini, crash in there, and look for that para riposte.
And that's what it looks like he was doing towards the end of the first round. There, another attack. that attack-o fair that we've been talking about.
He has to
for
take the
Foconi.
blade. Foconi takes the blade every time. There's Marini. He's still smarting. Tackle fair
He's
from Marini
lucky
off
he
target.
didn't get hit.
So Marini, clearly he knew that he can't retreat again and let Foconi push him like that. So good for him, the 18-year-old. He says, on the next action, I'm going to push you down the
Forward.
piece.
Here he is, pushing, 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 off target.
Foconi a little bit lucky there because he was a dead duck.
You can see Foconi trying to take over the attack. He parries, misses. You can see the frustration. Marini then within 1 point of making it, being the first qualifier for the finals of the Anaheim Grand Prix. And I can't overstate, like, when someone is new and kind of new to the scene like this, we haven't sort of figured out, or the top level fencers haven't figured out how to fence them yet.
And they will.
Post again misses.
Every country, every coach, every fencer has a book on all the other fencers, and they will develop a book on Marini, how to overcome this incredible length that he has.
Foconi's still trying to get the point in with the attack.
Distance, s'il vous plaît. Allez.
There it is. Marini makes his attack with that arm, but changes it to the shoulder. That long, fast arm, and this young, I think 18-year-old is now the first one into the finals for the men's foil portion of this Grand Prix semifinals. Up next is Julien Martinet. Did we decide Martinet or Martine?
We've heard Martine, we've heard Martinet. Let's go with Martine.
Martine of France, and fencing Chung Kalong of Hong Kong, who is, as you heard earlier, the 2017 Junior World Championships. This is a big result for Martine.
Big result for him, but he's also been a member of the 2014 World Championship foil team. So it's not like he's chopped liver, but from an individual standpoint, this is a great result for him. And we just had a huge upset there with the 18-year-old